Make your next pack Chesterfields. Then open them, smell them, smoke them. Yes, smoke Chesterfield and prove what every tobacco farmer knows. Tobaccos that smell milder, smoke milder. Chesterfields present the Bob Hope Show. Transcribed direct from Elmendorf Air Force Base, Anchorage, Alaska. With Les Brown and his band of renown. For Chesterfield, yours truly, High Aberback. Our special guests, Judy Kelly, the Hi-Hatters, the Taylor Maids, Jimmy Wakely, and Marilyn Maxwell. And here he is, the man from Hawaii, Guam, Okinawa, Kwajalein, Korea, Japan to Alaska. He's traveling in a circle because he's following his nose, Bob Hope!
Thank you. Well, here we are in Anchorage, Alaska. It's hard to describe Anchorage. Just imagine Kalamazoo, Michigan, packed in dry ice. Yes, sir, this is where winter comes to take its basic training. They have three kinds of weather here in Alaska: cold, colder, and don't fall out of bed, Joe. You'll break your pajamas. I went on an inspection tour of the camp this morning. I was admiring the beautiful statuary in front of the PX, a circle of crouching figures. And someone explained it was a crap game that got caught in a cold snap in 1947. And the men here will do anything for a little heat. I was smoking at Chesterfield yesterday, and a brigadier general came up and offered to buy my warm ashes. But Alaska seems to be starving for entertainment. As soon as I arrived, I got call from Fairbanks, Nome, and Ladd. They wanted me to go to Ketchikan, Skagway, and Sitka. We had a nice trip up here from Japan. The Air Force wanted us to fly up here on instruments, but I held out for a plane. And we made the trip in one hop. It's drier that way. After the rough trip, I was so glad to land, I got down and kissed the ground. They had to soak my head in hot whale oil to unpucker me. And what a reception at the airport. When I stepped off the plane, someone said, "What do you know? They're shipping blubber from the States now." Some of the GIs really get lonely for company up here. I got into a poker game last night and lost $12 to a reindeer. I didn't mind that, but the polar bear on my right was cheating. And you know, parts of Alaska are still wilderness, so to protect all GIs, the Army teaches them the basic principles of woodcraft. I've got the first lesson here, and I'll read it. If you get lost, don't get panicky. You can find your directions again. Just remember that moss always grows on the north side of a second lieutenant. And above all, if you're freezing, you'll begin to get a numb feeling. If this happens, don't delay. Strap a picture of Jane Russell to your eyeballs. Say hi.
What is it, Bob?
What's that you're reading?
Oh, this is the Chesterfield Sporting News. The Chesterfield people circulate it to all our servicemen so they can get the sports results from home.
Really? Do they have football scores in there?
You bet.
We'll see how my alma mater came out, will you?
Well, Bob, what college did you go to?
Vassar.
Oh, Vassar, that's a girls' school.
It is? Now I find out. I wondered why everybody needed haircuts. So the Chesterfield Sporting News gives all the scores, eh, Hi?
That's right, Bob. In Anchorage, Japan, Germany, wherever the armed forces go, the Chesterfield Sporting News follows them. In fact, wherever the armed forces go, Chesterfield cigarettes go. Thanks to the Chesterfield mildness test.
Yes, when it comes to mildness in a cigarette, the real test is as old as tobacco itself. The only thing you need to know is this. Tobaccos that smell milder smoke milder.
That's the tobacco farmer's test, and Chesterfield tobacco smell milder and smoke milder. You can prove it. Just make your next pack Chesterfield. Then open them, smell them, smoke them.
You'll find Chesterfield smell milder, and so they smoke milder. And the Chesterfield mildness always follows through with no unpleasant aftertaste.
So make your next pack Chesterfield, and you'll always buy Chesterfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now I'd like to bring out three wonderful gals from our show who've done a great job of entertaining the boys all the way from Honolulu to Alaska, the Taylor Maids.
Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-doo. I hear a polka and my troubles are through. Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-dee. This kind of music is like heaven to me. Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-doo. It's got us higher than a kite. Hand me down my soup and fish. I am gonna get my wish. Hoop-de-dooing it tonight. And there's a trombone playing. I get a thrill. She gets a thrill. I always will. And there's a concertina stretched about a mile. I'll always smile. She always smiles 'cause that's her style. And there's a fiddle in the middle that really the rip off plays a tune so sweet. Plays a tune so sweet that we could die. Lead us to the floor and here we shuffle more 'cause we're a hoop-de-dooing kind of guy. Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-doo. It's got us higher than a kite. You're in clover, we're in bloom. When we're dancing, give us room. Hoop-de-dooing it, hoop-de-dooing it, hoop-de-dooing it tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Taylor Maids. That was really fine.
Thank you, Mr. Ho.
What did you say?
We said thank you, Mr. Ho.
Sounds like these kids were frightened by the Andrews sisters. Look, girls, one at a time, huh?
Okay, I'm Ginny. I'm Pat. And I'm Beverly.
What did you girls think of the trip?
Oh, it was the most exciting thing that's happened to us.
I have to tell you how much the boys in Korea and every other place we visited enjoyed your songs.
Well, we're very thrilled that you asked us to join you on this trip, Mr. Hope.
Beverly, the pleasure was all mine. And, of course, our audiences in the South Pacific, the Far East, and up here in
What do you call this part of the world, Mr. Hope?
Well, there's a name for it, but you can't say it on the air. You
know-
little old sourdose, you.
You know, Mr. Hope, it's going to seem a little dull back in our hometown, San Francisco, after visiting places like Pearl Harbor, Guam, Okinawa, Tokyo, and Korea.
I know what you mean, Jenny, but when you kids get back there, you can think of all the wonderful guys we met in the 1st Cavalry, 24th Division, 11th Airborne, the Air Force, the Navy, and I'm sure that'll brighten up any dull moment you may have. Once again, thanks for a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Ho.
Nice kids, aren't they, High?
Yes, Bob, but then everybody on this tour has been just great. How about our Air Force men who escorted us halfway around the world?
That's right, High. Folks, it's no easy job lugging around a group of entertainers. In this case, 40 of us in 2 planes. But we were fortunate in having a hand-picked liaison officer of the Air Force who really knows his stuff, Colonel Harold Maddox.
Thank you very much.
Say, Colonel, tell me, how do you feel after covering 20,000 miles?
I enjoyed every minute of it, Bob.
How did you land this assignment?
It was an order.
An order? I thought that was a straight line, too. It was an order, huh?
Yes, through typical military channels. The order read, under Section AR 615352, you will proceed according to paragraph 184 of Amended Regulation 202.
What does that mean?
Get this guy out of the country.
Look, Colonel, I'm sure most of our audience is unfamiliar with the responsibilities of a liaison officer on a mission such as ours. Would you like to explain your job a little? I mean, what work did you do?
Well, among other things, I had to make sure that everybody connected with the show had quarters, was fed properly, woke up at the right time, went to sleep at the right time, had all their baggage, got to rehearsals, put on the proper clothing for the different climates we encountered, arranged for transportation, briefed the troop on each stop we made, and handled passports and identification.
I know, but what work did you do? Now, really, Colonel Maddox, I know I speak for everyone in the troop when I say that your efficient work and great cooperation helped make this a memorable trip.
Well, it'll make quite a memory for me. It was like having a family of 40.
Yeah, it'll be a memory for us, too. It's the first time we ever had a mother that went to West Point.
Bob, there's something I'd like to add.
What's that, Colonel?
Well, I would like the people to know how much the Air Force appreciates what has been done by you and each member of your group. We have traveled far together to entertain all members of the armed forces. There were difficulties, but nothing ever stopped the show. Famous places, unheard-of camps, audiences of 20,000 or 20 people, or just one boy in a hospital room. For each, you wonderful people performed as though from the stage of Carnegie Hall.
Well, we never played before a more important audience. Thank you very much, Colonel. And thanks again for your great contribution.
I can't take all the credit for making this a smooth trip. Don't forget the splendid crew we had flying us around.
You're so right. It's pretty hard to forget guys like Captains Jack Sisson, Joseph Smolensky, and Sergeants Wilson Dean, Lucian Hamner, and William Anderson. And right now, folks, I'd like you to meet the pilot of our plane, the man who's had me higher off the ground than the time I kissed Marilyn Maxwell, Captain Bob Pickard, right here.
Hello, Bob.
Hiya, boy. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
You're my boy.
Why?
Why? All those beautiful landings you made on this trip.
Bob, those landings were strictly routine.
I know, but there's a certain way you land a plane that I like.
How's that?
Right side up.
Well, you know, Bob, I wasn't flying the plane all the time. You have to give Junior some of the credit.
Junior? Who's Junior?
That's my automatic pilot.
You just tell Junior to keep up the good work, and if we get to California all right, I'll get him a date with an automatic girl. Captain Pickard, I want to sincerely congratulate you for the great job you've done hauling us around the globe.
Thanks, Bob. But I think there are some other fellows who ought to share the credit.
Who?
My crew. The co-pilot, navigator, radio man, flight engineer. We work as a group. It's sort of like you making a movie, Bob. If you make a good picture, the credit doesn't only go to you, but to your crew.
Well, I've never felt that way about it. It's a thought, though, I guess.
Well, they all worked very hard, Bob, especially that very important member of our crew, Flight Steward, Staff Sergeant Bill Hummel.
That's right, Captain. How about having him up here?
Okay. Hey, Willie.
What's on your mind, Pick?
Ladies and gentlemen, Staff Sergeant Bill Hummel, right here.
Thank you, and thank you, sir.
Come now, Bill. Bill, you don't have to sir me. I'm not an officer.
I never take any chances.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. When I go home on a pass, I don't kiss my wife. I salute her.
Well, you should. She outranks you anyway. Tell me, Bill, how long have you been in the service?
8 years.
8 years, huh? Were you drafted or are you crazy? Was this your first special flight, Bill?
No, Bob, I've flown with senators, congressmen, cabinet members, and top military personnel.
Well, do you find traveling with entertainers a little different?
Only in the matter of appetites.
You thought we ate a lot, huh?
Yes, they did eat quite a bit, especially the bread.
Well, Bill, lots of people are heavy bread eaters.
I know, but most people take the wrapper off first.
Yeah, you just didn't know how to handle them. You just didn't know how to handle them. You should have cracked the whip on them.
I did. They put mustard on it and ate that, too.
Well, Bill, I want you to know that we appreciate all the hard work you and Staff Sergeant Jack Woodward did in giving us that A treatment all the way.
Thank you, Bob. We certainly enjoyed having you aboard.
Thank you, Bill. He's a great guy, that Bill. It was boys like him, Tech Sergeant Darren A. Linnell, Tech Sergeant Frank Herzog, Staff Sergeant Tomasitas, and Herrera that really softened the ride for us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I could ramble on for hours about this next great trooper, but for reasons best known to themselves, the boys up here seem to want to see her, but quick. So here she is, Miss Marilyn Maxwell.
Thank you, Bob, and hiya, fellas.
How about this, fellas? Don't you think there ought to be one like this in every briefing room?
What's a briefing room, Bob?
Oh, that's where they brief the fellas.
But what does a brief mean?
How can you stand there in that dress and ask a question like that?
Oh, gee, Bob, I'm still in a whirl. We're broadcasting in Alaska this week, and last week we were in Korea. I was certainly proud of you in Korea, Bob.
Why?
Well, the way you went right up where the action was and entertained the fellas, I think you were very brave.
I've had lots of experience. I know my way around a battlefield.
I know, Bob, but it's a lot different now than it was at Gettysburg.
You know, Marilyn, you had plenty of occasion to be nervous. Do you know that during your song at Pusan, they found 2 enemy scouts in the audience?
No. What happened?
They thought you were a new secret weapon and retreated 20 miles.
But why didn't someone tell them what I really was?
They did, and the whole division surrendered.
You know, Bob, Colonel Maddox told me this afternoon that so far we've appeared before about 400,000 servicemen.
Please, Marilyn, 400,001. I cornered a fellow in a phone booth this afternoon calling home.
Please, Bob. It's certainly been a varied trip, hasn't it? We've ridden in jeeps, trucks, cargo planes, jet planes, helicopters, battleships, aircraft carriers. Why, we've traveled virtually every way but by dog sled.
Well, that's coming.
What do you mean, Bob?
Wait until you try to get home to your billet tonight. Seriously, I've rarely ever worked with a gal who is such a great sport, has such a fine sense of humor. Really, Marilyn, a girl who is show business at its best.
Well, thank you, Bob.
If I'd only read her my A speech. Isn't this nice high, reminiscing with our whole band of gypsies on the olden times? The last 4 weeks, that is.
Yes, Bobby. It's nice to take a minute off and think it over. Just sort of relax for a while.
Relax, yes, sir. By the way, hi, have you got a Chesterfield?
Please, Bob, don't be so modest. You know the reason I'm out at the moment. On this trip, you handed out over 1 million Chesterfields to servicemen wherever we've gone.
1,000,001 cigarettes high. I gave one to the kid in the phone booth. What an audience.
Yes, Bob, I may be out of Chesterfields, but the boys we handed them out to won't be from now on. Because I'm sure they've discovered for themselves the Chesterfield before and after of Chesterfield smoking.
The before and after?
Yes, before you smoke them, you can tell Chesterfields will smoke milder because tobaccos that smell milder smoke milder. After you smoke them, you'll find Chesterfield is the cigarette that follows through and leaves no unpleasant aftertaste.
Compare Chesterfield with any other cigarette. You make your next pack Chesterfield, and you'll always buy Chesterfield.
That's why millions of smokers say
they satisfy. You know, the thing that really helped put our show over was the great background furnished by our orchestra. From Oahu to Tegu, those stalwart members of John Tagrone's Local Number 47 have always been in there blowing hard. And now I'd like to present the head blowhard, Mr. Les Brown.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, you're welcome, Les. I was very sincere about my thanks.
And I'm very sincere, too, Bob. That's why I want this thanks to include all my boys individually. Jeff Clarkson, Tony Reese, Don Palladino, Ray Leatherwood, Jack Sperling.
This is instead of giving the money, of course.
Ronnie Lang, Dave Pell, Abe Aarons, Butch Stone, my kid brother Stumpy.
Was he your brother? Well, he was the guy in the phone booth. Go ahead.
Eddie Scher, Ray Sims, Dick Knoll, Bob Pring, Wes Hensel, Bob Fowler, Bob Higgins, Doc Calvelli.
Well, Les, I just want you to know that I'm really proud of the way you and the boys came through on this little jaunt. The fellas loved you everywhere we went.
Well, thanks, Bob. I know all the boys in the band feel that this was about the most exciting series of one-night stands we ever played. We couldn't have worked at any better spots than Kwajalein, Johnston Island, Anchorage, and Adak. And certainly we couldn't have asked for a more appreciative audience. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Les, my boy. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the girl whose wonderful dancing and good looks brought us a lot of GI friends wherever we went, Miss Judy Kelly, right here.
Thank you, Bob, and hello, boy.
Tell me, did you have fun, Judy?
Oh, I sure did, Bob, and I do it all over again tomorrow.
Well, tell me, Judy, have you had a chance to pick up any souvenirs on the tour?
Oh, yes, Bob. When we were over in Korea, a lot of the boys were nice enough to give me some of their war trophies. And I bought a kimono in Kyoto, Japan, and just the other day I got the cutest little thing in the Aleutians.
In the Aleutians? Well, let's see it.
Well, I can't show it to you now. It's in my overnight bag.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Amchitka.
Amchitka? Well, I'd better explain that to the folks back home. Amchitka is a lookout station to watch for communistic walruses. Have a few natives in today.
Well, the boys on the other plane, 9089, Captains Vernon Daniels, Doyle Simon, and Joseph Miller, pointed out all the spots of interest to me.
I imagine they would. Judy, what would you say the high point of our trip was?
Well, Bob, to me, every day was a high point. The thing I'll never forget was the day we had lunch with General MacArthur and his family.
Yeah, that was very impressive. It was wonderful being able to sit down and talk with a man who has done so much to help the United Nations effort.
And wasn't Mrs. MacArthur charming?
Yes, it was really one of the most enjoyable afternoons we spent. You know, it must be wonderful to have all that rank that General MacArthur does. There's only one person that outranks him.
President Truman?
No, Petrillo. Hold it, will you? Just for that, everybody goes to bed without poker chips tonight. You're flipping. Judy, I want to compliment you again on your superb dancing and thank you again for doing a great morale job.
Thank you, Bob.
Judy Kelly, thank you very much. Now, let me introduce a very unusual dance team, one of the best acts of its kind in the country, and one of the real high spots of our show, the High Hatters, Bernard Bradley.
Good evening, Bob.
And Udell Johnson. What are you doing?
He doesn't talk much. He likes to talk with his feet.
Well, what's he saying?
When do we get paid?
Paid? I gave you 500 in Tokyo.
What are we going to do with yen?
That's your problem. Udell?
Yes, Bob.
Listen, Udell, I want you to know that we appreciate the way you and Bernard knocked yourself out at all our stops, and it was worth it. Your act stopped the show every time.
Well, it's the end of a great experience. Except for that one thing.
What one thing?
Well, I forget where we were, but the 6-inch bug with 9 legs crawled into my room. Sure. You should have seen Bradley when he stepped on him.
What happened?
Well, I don't know, but that night he did his part of the show on the 30th perpendicular.
Perpendicular! Well, don't worry too much, Bradley. I had the same experience.
You stepped on one of those big bugs, too?
Stepped on it. I rode over to the show on it. Well, once again, fellas, thanks, and let's do it again someday.
Thank you, Bob.
There they go, the High Hatters, right there. And here's a guy we're all mighty proud of. He kind of makes you appreciate the lyrics of There's No Business Like Show Business. That great Capitol recording star, Jimmy Wakely.
Well, thank you, Cannonball. Well, boy, here we are in Alaska.
Yes, this is wonderful country. I've been out taking pictures all morning with my new Kodiak.
Bob, you mean Kodak. A Kodiak is a bear.
No wonder the pictures didn't come out. I lost 2 fingers every time I tried to close the shutter.
You know, I'm kind of glad to see you in civilian clothes again, Bob.
What do you mean?
Well, if I live to be 100, I'll never forget the way you looked in that GI uniform. You look very dashing.
Yeah, how about me wearing a sidearm on my hip, huh?
Well, that was a little silly. You wouldn't know how to fire a gun.
I wouldn't. I can shoot a hole through the ace of spades 50 feet away. It's just one thing.
What's that?
I need a gun with a 50-foot barrel. Say, Jim, as a sort of a wind-up to the tour, why don't we do a song together?
Well, I'd like to, Bob, but I sing Western tunes, and you don't know anything about the West.
Now, hold on there, partner. Just a minute, partner. Listen here. I got a hankering, boy. I got a hankering here to calculate as to how you're rustling up a chuck wagon in the old corral up the road a tote.
What does that mean?
Nothing. It's a picture title I got out of a Texas newspaper. Hit it. See them a-tumbling down, 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 pledge their love to the ground, 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 ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, 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 drifting along with the weeds. I know, when the night is gone, that a new world's born at dawn. I'll keep rolling along, long, 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 deep. My heart is a song, 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 song. Here on the range I belong, long, 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 drifting along with a milkweed. Oh, thanks for the memory. Yeah, I want to thank a lot of people tonight. I want to thank Secretary of Air Finletter, also General Vandenberg, for making this trip possible. I also like to thank the other project officers on this little junket. Major Gordon Knight, Major Charles Garsham, Major Easley, and Captain James O'Brien. Our host here at Anchorage, Colonel Posey, and the members of my radio unit, Hi Everback, Al Capstaff, Johnny Pollock, Joan Flint, Larry Gelbert, Fred Williams, Charlie Lee, and Chet Kasselow. And our ambassadors without portfolio, Al Armour, Vaughn Anthony, Charlie Cooley, Marty Barrett, Mary Keats, and my brother Jack Hope. Big list, but it's been a big trip. 20,000 miles is a long ways, but it doesn't seem long when every 100 miles or so you see GIs servicing planes at Johnson Island, refueling warships at Guam, sending B-29 skyward from Okinawa, wading ashore at Wonsan, Korea, pushing through the rubble of the once proud North Korean capital of Pyongyang, or holding down the fort on the barren windswept Aleutians. Different branches of the service, different climates, different jobs, but all American kids. Kids you'd usually associate with an ice cream soda at the corner, and not sea rations in a Korean foxhole. And believe me, the thing none of us could get over was, after a show, they'd come around and thank us. There were many incidents, large and small, on this trip, and we will all long remember. Most significant to me was the chance to see the United Nations at work, and the toughest type of work that has ever been confronted with. You know, it's a long ways from the conference rooms of Lake Success to the marshalling yards outside of Busan, Korea. But when we saw the grouping of French, Turkish, Filipino, Australian, British, and South Koreans in one composite army, while a Swedish group was setting up a field hospital for the wounded, we knew, and we're sure Joe knows by now, that the United Nations is far past the blueprint stage. It's in the bazooka, bomber, and battleship stage. And the men fighting alongside of each other may not understand each other's language, but they understand each other's ideals. In the Orient, one hears so much about losing face. Well, I can report that instead of losing, the Orient has gained a new type of face. It has a British forehead, a dogged American chin, bright Scottish cheeks, the high facial bones of the South Korean. Only the eyes are all the same, clear, determined, and set on the ideals of humanity for all and peace in our time and our children's time. To me, it'll always be the highest of privileges to appear in front of that kind of audience. Thank you and good night.
Chesterfield, the milder cigarette, has brought out Fighting Forces, the Bob Hope Show, transcribed from Anchorage, Alaska.